Hello everyone, Lance here and welcome to the very first Blender 2.8 tutorial. And in this video I'm going to show you the very basic of Blender 2.8 UI. So this area here, this is the 3D viewport where you will spend most of your time in. And in this viewport we already have three objects: the lamp, the cube, and a camera. To the right hand side we have the property panel. This is where you will find and tweak the property of pretty much everything. For example, I am currently selecting the camera, and here I can find the properties of the camera, for example the focal length, the shift and stuff. On the top right corner, this is the outliner. This outliner is the list of everything you will see in the 3D viewport, and they are grouped into collections. For example, if I open this collection, I have the three objects that already exist within the scene. Okay, next, this is the menu bar. This is more than the menu bar. Okay, here you will find a typical menu, and here you can add new workspace, for example animation workspace, and the UI is completely different. But this is a topic for a different day, so we are going to close the animation workspace, and let's focus on the general workspace for the time being. This blank area here is the context sensitive toolbar. And for example, if I select on the cube and switch to sculpt mode, and suddenly this bar contains a lot of new tool. Okay, so let's switch back to object mode. Okay, next down here, this is the timeline. You can click anywhere on this timeline to select a certain frame. And if we have animation within our scene, we will see animations as well. But we're not going to touch the topic of animation just yet, so let's go ahead and ignore the timeline for now. And lastly, this little bar down here, this is the context sensitive tooltip. Here you will find suggestions and tips of how to use whatever tool you are using. For example, if I hit G in the viewport to move the cube, notice that the bar down here now show a bunch of different ways that I can use the G command. So let's just right click to leave it in place. So this is just the basics of the Blender UI. At any given time you can resize the areas simply by clicking the edge of the areas and drag to resize. Now all these areas are actually just subdivisions of the main window, and at any given time you can divide an area to get a new division and assign a different function for it. Notice the four corners of the areas. Any areas there are these four corners. Okay, when you hover your cursor over it, the cursor become a tick icon. This means that you can click and drag in to divide, and again, if I click it and drag up, I can divide it horizontally. Now we can go ahead and assign different functions for it. For example, I can assign shader editor for this particular division, or I can even change the outliner into a 3D view. Okay, so let's change it back to the outliner. And yeah, when you no longer need the extra division, simply click on the corner and drag it into another division. This will merge the two. Okay, remember that in order to merge the two divisions, they must share the same edge, like this one. These two divisions they cannot merge because they don't share the same edge. If I click here and drag in to the left, nothing happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and merge these two divisions. And since we don't use the timeline, we can go ahead and merge these as well. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. And with that, I'd like to end this video tutorial. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.